Look, 2,500 years ago, well, actually going back 3,500 years, people were praying, they were talking to God, they were praising God in the ancient land of Israel. The land of Israel happens to be on an earthquake fault line. This is the rift between the African tectonic plate and the Arabian plate. The Dead Sea is the lowest spot on Earth, and the Dead Sea, right wedged between these two great plates, has just been forced downwards. This is the area of the world susceptible to great petroleum deposits, susceptible to earthquake, and 3,500 years ago, Abraham is praying to God and he says, God, help me, because God told him these two great plates are about to push so hard an earthquake will break out, and Sodom and Gomorrah, two cities of the plain where Abraham's nephew Lot lives, are about to explode in an inferno, an earthquake inferno. The ground will shake, the ground will tremble, the sulfur, the petroleum will explode and shatter. There'll be fire, smoke, brimstone, terrible, terrible consequences. And God says to Abraham, well, what do you want me to do? Abraham says, please, can't you just rescue some of the good people in town? And what about my nephew Lot? And so God dispatches two holy, strong angels to the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. As those two angels approach the city gate, they go inside the city, and after a few adventures, they meet Lot. They grab Lot and his two daughters, they take them out of the city, and they're rescued by God from the fiery inferno, probably as a compliment to God's close relationship with Abraham. Why was it that those cities on the plain exploded? Was it because of their terrible, terrible sin, or were there other explanations? To be quite frank, there have been far more worse cities on our planet today than ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. They haven't exploded. Perhaps it's because they haven't built their cities on an earthquake fault line, on top of bituminous pits, petroleum deposits, so that when those great tectonic plates rumble, as they have in recent times in New Zealand, as they do in Los Angeles, as they did in Haiti, well, imagine experiencing an earthquake in a city that's built on top of oil deposits. The Holy Bible simply records that Sodom and Gomorrah exploded and burst into flame. They were instantly incinerated, and when you go to that area today, what do you see? The lowest spot on Earth. It's just dust. There's nothing left alive anywhere. It seems as if every vestige of vegetation has been forever destroyed. Here we are in Israel and the Jordan Valley, this great rift between those two tectonic plates. And 3,500 years ago, a great earthquake was experienced by the inhabitants. The Bible writers from this time onwards kept on referring back to the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. They came up with different reasons why what happened did happen. It was rescued, it was judgment from God. Was God there? How was God there? Did he love? Did he kill? Did he rescue? What did God do? What is God like? And it seems as if the Bible writers wrestled with this topic for the next 1,000 or so years as they wrote the Old Testament stories that we read today. An amazing place in the world to visit. I'd love to take you there one day, to stand on the spot where these things happened. It's just changed my life. And instead of just reading the story and thinking, yep, he's an angry God, he just sends flames on whoever he can nuke if you and I just dare do one thing wrong. And instead, by traveling to the places, seeing what actually happened, I've discovered for myself that God is a God of love.